into some more wins and maybe make it into the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. Going forward, they'll definitely want that. And the racers are off.
Looks like Carnath had a little bit of a late start there, but both starting at Link's house. Looks like they're heading up to the front end of Escape. This is a pretty common start these days. Those 2 items from Uncle and the chest next to Uncle tend to be pretty easy to get, so you can start here, get those 3 quick items, and then usually we'll see them head up to Sanctuary.
Zero taking advantage of the item pool there. By killing one enemy, you can pull that tree and get a randomized item, drop item, pulled from that tree.
Yeah, it's a great strat. Sometimes that can yield early bombs, or if there's $80 there, sometimes that'll be helpful for buying bombs.
Now, Uncle was hanging on to the mushroom. What was he doing with that, man?
What's he doing with those shrooms? Maybe that's why he's up against that wall.
I think so, dude.
But we'll see what that yields probably a little bit later. Looks like they got the key out of the first Sanctuary chest, so have to trudge their way through the front end of Escape or get the Power Glove to go into the back end there to make use of that.
Yeah, both pretty much taking a pretty standard start to the open format of Randomizer.
Yeah, the beginning structure, there's not really much places to go without a weapon, and the goal is to open as many chests as quickly as possible. So a good place to do that is Kakariko, and a good way to get there is by Lost Woods, where there's a couple more items. So we'll see them probably do the same pathing for the first part, and then once they get the items, they might make different decisions after that.
Yeah.
It's like Zeroatu made a friend of the bush crab there who was dropping bombs.
Yeah, gave him a bomb or two there. Karna also got a quick lumberjack tree check, and it was just a single arrow, as well as Zero got that check as well. And he's gonna go get more bombs. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you know there's bombs there, you know, so if you don't have any other weapons, that's kind of what you got.
Yeah, go for the free bombs.
Carnath faking out that heart piece. I always tend to pick up heart pieces in the early game, but you can elect to skip them because it's much slower than getting just like a full heart, you know, that's sitting out there.
Yeah. Yeah, early on it's not bad. It'll give you, if you have to hop into a dungeon or something, it'll give you some extra health.
Yeah, both players heading down to what looks like the Kakariko area. No real deviations yet. All right, let's see what Blind's Hut has. There's 5 items in here, one behind that bombable wall. Usually we end up getting something. Oh, the hookshot. That's a good starting item.
That is a fantastic starting item.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty great because it can also act as a weapon. It either will kill or stun whatever it affects. So if it affects something, it's either going to one-shot it or make sure that you don't have to deal with it. So also can be used for movement, which is really good in the early game if you don't get the boots right away.
Yeah, I like using it for movement before you get boots. It definitely speeds things up. You can hook to signpost trees. There's a lot of stuff, surprisingly, you can hook to that'll speed up your walking. Nice cape there, early cape.
Yeah, that'll be good for if you don't have a lot of health. Ooh, an ether might have a early medallion dungeon play. Seed's certainly giving you the tools to dive into some dungeons pretty early, both the cape and the cane.
Yep. Could be your early logic items for stuff you may need later on.
Looks like Bottle Vendor only took 80 of their dollars this time. get 20 of it back in the chicken house there. And they'll probably head down to the back of the bar and then be on their way.
No Cocoa Clips. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. No Abyss chickens. Ooh, the Moon Pearl in the back of the bar. That's a great pickup. That if a very popular strategy these days is to do the fake flipper down at the bottom of Lake Hylia, which allows you to go up into a cave in the Zora area and do a water walking glitch. You need the Moon Pearl for that. So maybe we'll see at least one of the players tackle that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad move either, with them being close to 500 rupees already. They can make a trip into Zora as well.
Oh yeah. Looks like just $20 on the race game. We're going to have Carnath save and quit, probably back to Link's house, or Karn's house in this case. Looks like he's going to be heading down to the dam and probably do the Lake Hylia loop. Yeah, not really deviating. Neither player not really deviating from the standard route. I would consider this pretty standard routing for the beginning of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing too crazy.
Well, it looks like Carnath thought about doing the block glitch or the block clip with the hook shot and then decided against it, but pulls the shovel out of the chest in the dam.
Oh, Zero went for it and then accidentally moved a little bit to the left there and accidentally moved it up. That's okay though.
That's okay though. Luckily, you have to go in twice most of the time anyway if you don't have the mirror or the hook shot. Looks like we've got the players. Carnath is on 6 hearts now, and Zeroatu is electing to skip that heart piece. So we'll see where that puts him. He's got 3.5 hearts, and those crabs do 2 hearts of damage, so and taking a little bit more damage there as well. But they'll have the hook shot to defend themselves, so you can strike at things from afar. Hookshot being really useful for this mini Moldorm cave because it will one-shot the mini Moldorms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
Yeah, that was not a very Light World hype cave. Unless you really like carrying more arrows and bombs. We've been seeing that a lot more. It's been a lot of attention drawn to the fact that version 26 tends to put more items in dungeons, just because of the way the algorithm was redesigned, but still able to find a reasonable amount of things in the overworld. I like to see players that have a nice balance going between the overworld and dungeon hunting.
Yeah, it definitely makes you reevaluate your routing, you know, what areas to hit up first. Like they're doing right now, they're doing Ice Rod Cave. Some hold this off for later and they head straight into dungeons instead. But, you know, it's interesting to see everybody with their different routes.
Oh yeah, just pulling $20 out of the Ice Rod Cave, but for me at least, the peace of mind of knowing that I never have to go there ever again is good enough for me.
Exactly. It's more worth than 20 rupees. So Zero actually opted to go ahead and save and quit back to Link's house. Looks like Karn is going to fake flipper and go ahead and check out... Maybe? Yeah, he's going to try to set up for a fake flipper here. Almost.
He's still working on it. Looks like we got Zeroatu opting for the mushroom check and then rethinking. Looks like he might be heading down to the eastern area. Gonna see what Sahasrahla has and possibly go for the early eastern play. And Carnath finally succeeding at his fake flipper. You transition screen at the same time you enter water, then the game just kind of thinks you have flippers. and puts you in the water no swimming state, so then you can swim around and do whatever you want.
He's opting actually to do the hobo check instead of Zora, but he may end up coming back and fake flippering again and heading up. We'll see.
Yeah, you can actually do a fake flipper from the ledge here. Let's see if you
That's
can
right.
do that.
Actually, yeah, you can. Really forgot about
Yeah,
that.
he's a pixel. Yeah, he tried it a few times. He does a pixel too high, I think. That is a fairly easy, but it's hard to know which position you need to do unless you practice it a bunch. So maybe it was just something he was trying off the cuff. Didn't see much come out of the Sahasrahla check, but we'll see what Carnath finds there. We've got Zeroatu heading back towards the area, probably to check the shovel that you found in the dam.
Yeah, Zero's heading right for that dig spot, and yeah, I believe these 3 chests behind Saha were nothing of worth.
It looks like he picked up at the very least a heart, probably some cash, another $20 at the dig spot, so not much going on there. Notably, Zeroatu electing to skip going into early Eastern, which is a play that kind of, I wouldn't say is divisive in the randomizer community, but there's basically a group of people who like to do it and a group of people who don't like to do it. We haven't gotten a map check from either of these players, I don't believe, either.
Nope, no map check. Up, speak of the devil, there we go.
It looked like 6 on Desert and just regular crystals on the other 2 dungeons, Hera and Eastern. So, I mean, Carnath probably figures, hey, I'm probably going to have to go into Eastern anyways. May as well see if there's anything in these first few chests.
Yeah. Nah, I actually like this play. As soon as he seen that it was a crystal, he said, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, and that's basically, that's a lot of the mentality that I've seen is, hey, I'm going to have to be in here anyways. May as well clear it out. Especially if you can do the dark rooms, because neither player has found the lamp or any light source for that matter.
Right, exactly. Alright, so a little bit of a route divergence here. I actually thought it looked like Zero was going to head up to Zora area through fake flippers, but he's also going to go ahead and check the hobo as well.
Yeah, he did check the island though, whereas Carnath did not. So Carnath does not know that there is just $50 on the island, which is good to know that you don't need to necessarily get there unless for some reason you really need that $50. Just find his piece of heart and be on his way. Let's see if he gets this fake flipper. There you go, execute. First try. Good job. So we'll probably be heading up to the Zora area. Maybe he'll need $26 if he wants to get to the actual Zora to purchase whatever item he may be purveying today. And then not much on Carnath's side from the dip into Eastern. We found the map in the compass room, kind of ironically, and is heading up to this 3rd chest here. And this is the state glitch that we were talking about earlier. If you have the moon pearl, when you exit a cave in a swim state, it just kind of thinks you're walking. So it'll just put you walking wherever you are, which in this case is on water. So he finds $300, luckily, from that cave, and we'll be able to go and purchase the King Zora's item. Oh, and the lamp from Carnath in the big chest there. Looks like he's not doing those dark rooms. Well, he wouldn't be doing them dark anymore, but I guess he just decided that was all that he needed.
Interesting. Yeah, he still has, one more item to get, but it could be behind Armos for all he knows, so he figured that's probably good enough for now.
Oh yeah, finding the lamp, finding any kind of fire, your first fire source is the most important, whether it's the lamp or the fire rod kind of depends on the dungeons that you'll need to do. But the lamp is definitely the more useful for the dark rooms like Pod and Eastern and Mire. And the fire rod is more useful for, dungeons where you need a lot more damage and required for Skull Woods and Mothula. Looks like Carnath finally deciding to go back up to Zora. He didn't trust the 2 chests up there in the waterfall cave to have any money in them. So he's got $499. So to find a single rupee on his way to Zora there should be pretty easy.
Well, what's nice is if he does end up going ahead to do the waterfall ferry, there's 300 rupees in there, so that ends up actually being a pretty convenient trip to Zora.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we've got Zeroatu doing the Agana check. Usually we see this put off for a long while, but it doesn't look like the players have many options. Zeroatu did not go into Eastern, does not have the lamp. The lamp and the gloves would give players access to Death Mountain, and which would hold quite a few more items since they have the hook shot.
Yeah, I like this call because, well, the only thing really left is the mushroom. Turn in the mushroom to see what that gets you. Oh, and it ends up just being a piece of heart. Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what's going on with the mushroom more than likely, and oh, it looks like he might be heading into Eastern first. Oh yeah, doing that map check.
Yeah.
And Carnath gets sniped by a Zora.
Oh, was that? I believe that was in soft lock status. So the problem with that fake flippers strat there going up is if you did get any damage in fake flipper status, it is immediate death. In vanilla game, it just kind of soft locks you and you can't really do anything. So it's kind of like a fail safe to get out of the soft lock.
Yeah, it puts you in a weird position and your screen scrolls a bunch. I've accidentally done it before and it was not fun.
The floating head thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather the instant KO, because then at least I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
We got Zero checking the mushroom here, heading up to do that at the witch's hut. So we'll see what that gets, and then I guess we'll have to start dungeon diving after this. Yeah, we just got another piece of heart. Wow. Seed kind of started off quickly and petered out a little bit.
Yeah, both early fetch quests just netting money and heart. There goes Carnath, getting that fake flipper. Avoid the snipe, there we go.
Yeah, snipe me once, shame on me. Snipe me a second time, now I'm mad.
That would just be very frustrating.
Oh yeah. Alright, so Zeroatu finally opting to go into Eastern. Going into Eastern without a weapon is somewhat problematic if you do end up needing to go into some of the more enemy-dense rooms, but for the most part, the first 3 chests you can get and not have an issue.
Now, looking at the locations that they have left, and at least the light world to check, it does raise a little thing for me finding the lamp in that big chest, because there could be something in the very next chest if there's nothing left in light world to do.
Yeah, there could be something there, and there could be that neither player has gone into any part of escape. They've only gotten the key out of the chest in Sanctuary. So my guess would be that they find a sword either in that last chest here or in escape, and it could be an Aghanim seed, especially getting the lamp this early and the cape.
Yeah, that's true. It could be an Agaseed, but yeah, the seed could be making them go into Eastern to get the lamp, then go do escape, and etc. Maybe possibly Aghanim as well. Oh, but they do have the cape, so but they still do need a sword to open up the curtain. So that's the only other thing.
Yep. So it's either some combination, or either a sword would allow them to do Aghanim to get over to the Dark World because they already have the Moon Pearl, or some combination of items to allow them to get into the Dark World, like Titan's Mitts or the hammer and just a set of gloves. So Carnath is going to dig up his $20 and be on his way. Hopefully we'll get to see the front end of Escape, or some part of Escape check. I think it would have to be the front part.
Decides to go to Sanct.
Probably checking the mushroom at this point. It's faster, I think, to go from Sanctuary, go left, or right rather. Alright, to picking up his big key, gonna get his lamp from the big chest, and we'll see if he gets to check that last chest that could have the last item in this dungeon. Finds that lamp. Yep, he's gonna continue on, so we'll get to see what's in that last chest there. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, psych.
Psych! I could have sworn they found the map, but maybe they did find all the items.
Yeah, I thought they found at least that map in the second chest, or the third one.
The third one was the big key. The map, I believe, was in the compass chest. But either way, the player's electing to not do that, and it looks like Zeroatu is going to be the first adventurer to escape here. I believe we'll get the same thing from Carnath.
Yeah, looks like it. And okay, so Zero's gonna skip going to the Zelda cell? Okay.
Maybe getting the key early, he thinks that he can get an advantage by checking these items first.
Maybe.
He thinks his opponent is going to check the other items. Yeah, because it looks like Carnath is going to be going the other way. Maybe he's not comfortable with doing that end of escape with just bombs. He only has 3 bombs, so that's not really going to be enough to do that whole. You have to kill 3 guards minimum.
It's very true. He does not have enough bombs now that I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, Carnath does, so he'll probably be hookshotting to stun them, and then it takes 2 bombs for the blue guard and 1 bomb for the green guard that you need to kill. And then you have pots in the last room to deal with the big key there, so. It's finding 10 arrows in that first chest. Not really much to go off there.
If only they had enough magic, they could use the Cane of Brian there for their advantage.
Oh, that's true. Cane of Brian does do fighter sword damage. We got Zero finding the map. Ooh, and the glove!
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that's a great find for him, especially because Carnath might not find anything in this half of Escape, and then we'll have to do the other half and then go up to Death Mountain, where it looks like Zeroatu is just headed up there right now.
Yeah, he's got every item he needs to do to get up to Death Mountain, especially with Hookshot. You can check that right side.
Ooh, the silvers, though, in that second chest in the front end of Escape. So if Zeroatu doesn't go back for that, he might be in for a slower couple of fights, including the Ganon fight.
Yeah, that's kind of huge if he doesn't go back. And there's a good chance that he may not be prompted to, especially if there's nothing in this last chest here.
Yeah, the silvers are not required to finish the game, but boy, do they make some parts a lot easier. Oh, apparently we missed in chat, you need 5 bombs to clear that path. Or magic at that point, but...
Right. And then Carnath getting the first bottle in the Zelda chest. So there you go. That could open up something at Sick Kid. We'll see.
Looks like Carnath is electing to walk back out the front end of Escape, probably tackle the back end because he already has the key in the lamp. So that'll be pretty straightforward. We get our first look at Spectacle Cave and Spectacle Rock. Just $5 on Spectacle Rock. Let's see what's in Spectacle Cave right now. Just some bombs, so not much there before Zeroatu heads over to the east side of Death Mountain. Still no swords for either player. This could be a late sword seed. Maybe they'll get the hammer so that they'll be able to do Tower of Hera. But
yeah,
no sword.
It's true. It's like as it stands, they are unable to do Tower of Hera. Well, they can go check the chest, but they will not be able to defeat Moldorm.
And or being one of those bosses that requires a sword or a hammer as opposed to just something that does damage. We've got these 5 chests on the east side of Death Mountain. This usually will yield something, especially in the early game when they don't have too many other options. Ooh, the red cane. That's a nice pickup. Generally, that'll be something for a dungeon. And Titan's Mitts. Oh, wow.
Wow. Great
Wow,
cave.
Okay, so this might be the new Light World Hype Cave.
I agree. You get Samaria and Titans in that same cave. That's really, really good. In combination with Moon Pearl, Zero can go ahead and check Dark World Death Mountain while he's up here.
Yeah, that's very true. You got to be careful when you're doing that, though. It looks like he is heading back up to check Spiral Cave before he goes into the Dark World because they don't have the mirror. So
Right.
once you go in, you can't really go out without saving and quitting. Carnath picking up his Power Glove and probably heading straight up to Death Mountain.
And yep, absolutely. So yeah, this is good routing from Zero. Definitely saves from leaving Spiral unchecked. And he checks the island. Nothing good up there but some money.
Yeah, this is going to be great for him because he'll be able to just jump right down, go right into the Dark World, assuming this isn't the hammer. If this is the hammer, I think he should consider at least going back up and going into Hera. Just because clearing out not only a dungeon, but a crystal dungeon whenever you can is probably a good idea. Nope, just a heart from there, so he'll probably just head straight into Dark Death Mountain, and maybe we'll finally get some actual weapon there.
Absolutely. Their win-loss in this tournament right now, they're both sitting at 0-2. So one of them will walk away with their first victory. Oh, so close. Zero almost had that hook shot clip there.
Oh yeah, that squeeze. It's kind of difficult. If I still have to line it up personally because it's not something that that's very intuitive for hookshotting to that block at that time. But Zeroatu going up the vanilla way, I suppose. Let's see what we find in here. A shield, no sword. Very defensive seed.
Let's use the shield as a sword. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, you just beat him with the shield, right?
Just push him out of the way, man.
The best defense is a good offense, or the best, yeah, something like that.
So something like that. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Oh, we haven't gotten a Dark World map check, but it looks like Zeroatu is checking the medallion on Turtle Rock, which is Ether, which they already have. So Zeroatu could venture into Turtle Rock if he finds, well, I guess in this case he would need to find the mirror to get back, and a hammer.
Yeah, it's interesting. He hasn't checked the Dark World yet.
Let's see what we find in Hookshot Cave here. Just some bombs and a bomb upgrade. Some arrows. Oh, nothing in the Hookshot Cave there. And Carnath's going to be pretty happy with what he finds in this cave here, so then he'll probably be on the same plan. Looks like this seed is kind of on rails for the first bit of it anyways. Not too many other options for the players after this. But they do have Titan's Mitts, so that unlocks the west side of the Dark World there over by Kakariko. So that'll be nice. There'll be quite a few items over there.
Yeah, getting that Titans there, that's perfect. No longer Aga 1 whatsoever required for this seed, so they're good to go.
Well, there could be if the hammer is on the east
Oh.
side of the Dark World. It could be, which I've seen before.
Definitely still could be in that very least likely chance, but yeah, that would be very unfortunate.
Actually, it would have to be the hammer and the flippers on that side of Dark
Right.
World. So not likely at all. But hey, I've seen it.
That would be the worst commentator's curse in the history of commentators.
Oh jeez. Oh, there was a match earlier in the tournament where the only way forward was to open up the pyramid, but the only way to do that was to go and buy the bomb and save and quit and walk all the way around to the pyramid to use the Aghanim portal.
No way.
To get into oh wait, I believe that's how it worked, but basically they had to kill Aghanim to get into that side. It was
that sounds
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, like a nightmare scenario.
Oh yeah.
So I actually like this play Zero's making. He's making an early call into Skullwoods, and that may just be because of how good Skullwoods has been lately for items.
Yeah, there's only 2 items in Skullwoods, but they're accessible with Dark World access. So you can just pop in here and as long as they're not on Mothula or the chest in Mothula's place of residence, then they're not locked by the Fire Rod.
Right.
Looks like we got a call in chat for Vanilla Thieves Town with the possibly the hammer in Thieves Town.
Definitely a possibility. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, hammer in Thieves Town is always a fun one because you do need the hammer to open up the big chest.
So, as Zero takes on Skull, I can only imagine that Carnath is also gonna either go to Skull or Thieves, but looks like he's gonna turn around. No, think about it. Oh,
Zeroatu taking a death in the Gibdo room there, which is not uncommon. The Gibdos do 2 hearts of damage, and they don't really stop for anything.
nah. Gibdos
One shot him with the fire rod, but yeah, they don't care about anything else. Both players still on green mill. Got a reasonable amount of hearts, large heart pool, but Carnath doing the sick kid check, which I don't believe Zeroatu did before heading into the dark.
No, he did not.
Ooh,
And it's a sword!
Wow!
Wow.
That first sword, though. What is sick kid doing with that sword, man?
Oh no, man.
Just like, oh, I'm so sick. Please have this weapon. He's playing with the plastic sword in trains, apparently. Looks like we had a full map check there. I saw a red pendant on Thieves Town, and looks like crystal number 2 is where Zeroatu is right now in Skullwoods, and Carnath electing to do the Skullwoods check as well. They'll probably have a little bit of an easier time with that sword to at least get them out of the way, get all the enemies out of the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't do that much damage, but moving stuff around is key in this game.
Carnath skipping that first chest to get this one instead. Oh, another one had the big key.
Yeah, I've seen this strategy quite a bit where if you open up that chest and it makes these pits appear, so it just makes it a little bit easier to get back there. The only downside would be is if that chest is a small key and the chest after it is not a small key, then you waste a little bit of time, but generally that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Zero getting wall mastered here.
This room can be a bit rough. Wall masters have caused many problems in many runs. They can grab you as you're falling down a pit. It turns out.
Yeah, I've had that happen a few times, falling into Mothula.
Get this last check, and if this is not the fire rod, then probably have them move on to, or Zeroatu at the very least, moving on to Thieves Town or the Thieves Town area. And it's just a small key, so it looks like it was just that. They get any items out of Skullwoods?
I don't believe they've gotten any item yet in Skullwoods, no.
Oh, that's interesting. So then both the items are going to be fire rod locked, one on Mothula and one in Mothula's chest.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Looks like based on the map check that we saw, no, we did not get which crystal was crystal 5. Zeroatu ought to be making a map check at some point, at least to figure out.
He hasn't made a map check yet. You'd have to imagine that would be coming up here soon, especially because I would think he's gonna walk into Thieves' Next and notice that it's a pendant dungeon. So.
Oh, certainly. And Carnath picking up his second sword before Zeroatu picks up his first. Sword upgrade at the chess game there. That is quite a reward for $80.
Wow.
Looks like Zeroatu's heading that direction right now, so he'll be quite happy to find that sword. Oh, and a mail upgrade in the bombable hut there. Like they're making a quite the run around here.
Would be a banana hat, but it's gone rotten and it's black, so unfortunately it's just withered away.
Silly Dark Link with rotten bananas on his head.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Looks like 5 is Swamp.
There you
So
go.
Swamp Palace, in addition to the Light World Crystal, which was Desert Palace, will get the access to the Fat Fairy there. Oh, looks like we've got a fashion check in the chat. Carnath with the blue shield, blue sword, blue mail. He's a fashionable fellow.
That is highly fashionable.
Yo, powder in that first chest.
First chest powder.
Yeah, that'll be useful even later in this dungeon. You can use that to turn the anti-fairies into fairies. So that's a lot of survivability in the dungeons that have anti-fairies. And it is yet another of the fetch items here. Once they get the mirror, the hammer, they'll be able to check the bat cave that is over near the blacksmith.
Yeah, Thieves is pretty good no matter what. It's just like Skull Woods. Once you get Dark World access, you can hop in. The only thing you can't check is if you don't have the hammer for the big chest. And there's another bottle, so Zero will pick up this bottle and then we'll be able to check Sick Kid.
Oh, certainly, yeah. And that'll be good. If they find the mirror, they'll be able to do it pretty easily. If not, hopefully he'll go out of his way to do that, because having any sword is always good, and then having tempered sword is usually the next big jump. Having master sword, going from fighter to master is good, but going from master to tempered is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Thieves Town is definitely a good play, even if it is a pendant. It being red pendant is slightly less good because you don't get that extra item, but even then, it's so easy to go through and just open all these chests. Carnath with a pretty good Hellway. Looks like he only took that one hit. Another hit, but they're good. He's headed up to the bomb room up at the top there. The room where you need to bomb the floor for the boss fight. Ooh, and half magic from that chest. That's phenomenal. That's a great pick.
Very good pickup.
Yeah, especially with both immunity items. You could just put all the bosses on easy mode. Not the fastest way to clear everything, but certainly the safest way.
Most definitely.
To electing to use the freshly gotten powder to restore some health there.
Yeah, great spot to get powder here in Thieves. Like perfect timing just because of this dungeon alone. A lot of anti-fairies to get.
Yeah, a lot of anti-fairies, and then there's a couple bunny beams too that are under pots, which are, if you know the location of them, can be a really, really effective way to get some health back quickly. Yeah, now that somebody's mentioned it in chat, definitely go ahead and follow these runners, Zeroatu and Carnathfd. It's great that we have the ability to restream these races, but the runners themselves are always doing stuff. So definitely check out their channels, and then a lot of the behind the scenes stuff going on. All of that information is in the chat there for following the commentators and the tracker and the restreamer as well. So there's a lot of work that goes into these tournaments, and we're happy to do it. But if you could give us a little love too, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. So Carnath taking on Blind. Has a few safety items if it gets ugly, but it should be okay. Health is a little low though. Yeah, it breaks out that can of burner strats. Very nice.
Oh yeah, this causes a little bit of lag, but hey, it's better that than the alternative.
Totally worth it. So the main item they got in Thieves was the powder. Now I think there might be still an item behind the big chest.
Let's see, they got powder, they got the... I don't remember seeing the compass.
Compass. Actually, you know what? It is the compass, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks, because, yeah, Zeroatu just did a pause there, and I saw that going into Blind, having neither the map or the compass means that Blind has the map and the compass is in the big chest, so they won't have to head back there, which is great. Ooh, and the hammer pickup from Stump Kid, that's phenomenal. That means they have full Dark World access right now. That's pretty early, 40 minutes into the Seed Dark World access, and it's a fantastic weapon, just temper spray.
That is a great early pickup for Hammer from Tree Boy there. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and it looks like Carnath heading back to do the digging game. He kind of passed by it there, but he'll go back. And Zeroatu finishing up Thieves Town, picking up the red pendant, and probably heading down the same way. Just some bombs from the digging game, but luckily it was only, what, 8 digs?
Yeah, it was a quick dig game. Yeah, a couple digs.
At the very least, if you're getting something like that, the very least the game can do is only make it a few digs.
Just make it a fast one.
Yeah, Zeroatu heading straight for the digging game. Know that usually you'll see them check the digging game and a couple of other things first before heading to the blacksmith, or heading to the frog, because then that you won't be able to do those things once you have a follower, either the frog or the chest.
Carnath frog. Or yeah, gonna go on a little adventure here.
Oh yeah, since the players don't have the mirror, you kind of have to cart him around to check all these last few locations in the dark world, but he doesn't mind, apparently.
I mean, he was behind that rock the whole time. I'm sure he doesn't mind at all. So.
It looks like he just went up to check Bumper Cave, and now he's saving and quitting to go and turn him in, more than likely. Zeroatu picking up his hammer as well. We'll see. There wasn't a hype cave check from Carnath, so we'll probably be doing that after the turn in on the blacksmith here. Usually you'll see players head all the way down there with the follower, just because going back into the dark world here can lose a little bit of time, but Carnath just really wants to see what the blacksmiths have for him.
Yep, while he does that, Zero's gonna home in on Hype Cave here.
Everybody get your hype out. Get your hype ready. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a heart piece. Oh, and red mail from the blacksmith. Jeez, that is a great pickup in the early game. Looks like they won't have any troubles.
Wow.
Oh, the bow and hype cave. Oh goodness. I mean, just the bow makes for a hype cave. I don't know about you.
Bow alone definitely gives Hype Cave credibility, without a doubt.
And we'll get the bat check as well with the powder. Just some couch cash from the bat. So we'll have a saving quit from Carnath. He'll probably head down to the house, would be my guess. That is indeed the case. Oh, it looks like Zeroatu is electing to go and finish Eastern there. It is a crystal, and you have the bow now, so why not?
Yeah, definitely. And with Pod being a pendant dungeon, you may not come back over here. So might as well just go ahead and get out of the way. But it also looks like Carnath may also hit a pipe cave here as well and get the bow as well.
You know, it looks like Zeroatu is operating on a bit of the downturn. He did not pick up silvers from the front end of Escape, and he does not have the second sword upgrade from Sick Kids. So he'll just be heading in with the regular bow and the fighter sword, which should be enough, but Carnath probably make a little bit better time because he has those extra items. Finding his bow as well in the Hype Cape.
Yeah, absolutely. Silvers make a huge difference, and at least the Armos fight here. 3 arrows to 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a much quicker fight for Carnath if he decides to go do that, but it looks like he's electing to go up to check the pyramid area or to go into Pendant Pod.
Yeah, see, I was thinking Zero might make the play right to Pod, but instead he went to Eastern.
Yeah, having
Pod?
the... Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Pod just being a very beneficial dungeon.
Oh yeah, there's 5 items there, and it being the green pendant actually means that there's a 6th item, or is it no, it's not the green pendant, it's the blue pendant. But even just having 5 items with the ability to clear the whole thing makes it a very attractive location, I think, and it looks like Carnath has similar thoughts to that as well.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all for making the call to go to Pod.
Yeah, with so many items being in dungeons lately that people have seen, I think going into dungeons is a priority for a lot of players these days.
Yeah. Especially when you have the necessary items to full clear them. It's like the seed telling you to maybe go check it out.
Yeah, because it looks like there's not too much else they can get into right now, at least as far as it's required. They can get into Tower of Hera now with the hammer. They can get into... Actually, that's really about it without the flippers. You can technically get into the Ice Palace without the flippers, but without a fire source like Bombos or the Fire Rod, it's just not really doing much there. Looks like Zeroatu will be finishing up Eastern with the Armos Knights here. Good to see what this last item is. Oh, it looks like it was just the map. So it looks like the players were ahead of us and they just knew they found all the items.
Yeah.
Must have been mistaken when the item that came up in the compass room. But Zeroatu on the board with the first crystal. And Carnath not finding much in Pod so far. They do have the lamp though, so this is not technically a sequence break. I think this is going to be a good play. I would expect something to be in here. Just couch cash so far. Carnath also doing his best to pick up those extra dollars. You never know when you might need some extra potions.
Well, it's definitely potion money down the road for sure.
Oh yeah, especially with those 2 bottles. Zeroatu going back into the Dark World. Looks like he might be doing an early Turtle Rock. Or going up to Hera.
I think he could be... I don't know if he'd go into T-Rock right now with just the fighter sword, but he could be. But yeah, you're right. He could also make the play to Hera.
Yeah, doing the doing early Turtle Rock, I have seen pay off quite a few times because the Fire Rod has a tendency to be in one of those first few chests. Carnath deciding what he wants to do. Looks like he's going to head up to Hera as well. Oh, we could see the Turtle Rock play. He knows he has Ether and the Red Cane. I mean, that's a pretty good indicator that something might be there.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I was thinking either Pod or T-Rock, just because of the items that they have. They have access to all of those locations, including Hera as well.
Yeah, without the flippers, that kind of limits them from those two dungeons. And then there's no access to Mire or Desert Palace without the book for Desert Palace or the flute for both of them. Well, flute and mirror for Desert Palace, actually. Yeah, Zeroatu electing to go into Turtle Rock. I think this could be a good play, considering Carnath wasn't finding much down in Pod there.
No. Yeah, Carnath didn't find anything good in Pod, unfortunately.
We'll see Carnath do the first trip into Hera. Oh, the big key. So that means that dungeon is locked without the fire rod. You need the fire rod to progress to get those two chests past the room on the right there. Means there's not going to be much going on there at all. But that was a quick check, so at the very least, he's only out a couple minutes at most.
Oh, and a basement required Hera. Isn't that the best?
You know, I always struggle to decide whether it's the best or the worst, because the only thing worse than going into a dungeon once is going into a dungeon twice. The only thing worse than going into a dungeon twice is missing the item in the basement of Hera because you've forgotten it.
True. So if it's gonna make you go in there, at least make you go down to the basement right away for the big key.
Oh yeah, the good old vanilla start on this dungeon. I tried to do the clip there onto the pegs, which would prevent you from taking damage because it locks you in a state with invincibility frames. But got stuck behind the pegs, which is a fine place to be when you've got a sword. It's a little bit more painful when you don't, but that's still fun. And without the mirror, they gotta trudge their way all the way back up to the lobby. Certainly a lot of walking going on in this seed. There's the hook shot is the only movement item they've gotten so far. No flute, no mirror, no boots.
Yeah, and luckily they at least got that pretty early. But yeah, no hook shot, no boots, no mirror. Definitely a adventurous seed.
Carnath taking advantage of that hammer, doing tempered sword damage to the beetles there. Looks like Zero got the clip, so he'll just be hanging out for a couple minutes, maybe grab a drink. Just the map, so it looks like the last two chests here will have the items. By last two chests, I mean taking a hit from that sparkler and will be sent on his way before getting the item there.
Yeah, just hookshot at the wrong moment. And unless he's gonna bomb jump back, he's gonna have to drop down anyways. So it's actually better to just go to the top and then drop down.
Yeah, doing this the vanilla way I think would be a little bit faster, but sometimes if you can't, especially if you can set up that bomb jump pretty quickly, that could be faster as well. But he just elected to go back downstairs, take a trip through the Moldorms again, just saying hi, seeing how they're doing. And I'll head up to Moldorm, who will have the final item, and it looks like I think this is one of the last locations that they can check right now.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm trying to think where else they can go from here, and it's very minimal. Zero obviously can go to Pod, but we know there's nothing there.
So there's got to be something here. Is other player? We got to check on Spike Cave before, right?
I don't believe they have yet. No.
Well, with half magic and both immunity items, I'd say that that's a pretty open location as well. Oh, now that they have the hammer, yeah, because the last time they were in Death Mountain, they didn't have the hammer. Oh, and Quake being on Moldorm there, so that's really no help for progressing them in the seed unless they find something that can get them to Mire, or maybe that could get them into a dungeon.
Yeah, that doesn't immediately progress them, but they may end up needing that later on. But I would think, yeah, Spike Cave could be a call right now. Logically speaking, it is in the play. They have Cane of Burna, they have the Cape, and half magic. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and it looks like neither player's checked the pyramid item. We have the pyramid item and catfish both available, I believe, as well.
There you go.
Oh, Carnath did not check Spiral Cave before, so we'll be doing that now. As Zeroatu is coming up on his Moldorm fight. The slow Spiral Cave has got to be one of the... I've heard players that avoid Spiral Cave because they don't have the boots, just because it is so slow.
The Resident Sleeper Cave without the boots.
Certainly the Resident Sleeper Cave. Electing to try to do the... Takes only 3 hammer hits with Tempered Sword damage to take down Moldorm, but he is just being real careful. Doesn't want to fall off the edge there. That will reset the boss's health. Going back to the Fighter Sword strats there. Oh god! That was a close one.
Hang on, Zero, you got this.
He's taking out the cape. Oh, yeah. This will be a safe fight now. He'll get it.
I like this.
Wow, Trollorm.
No!
Oh no! Oh man! Oh, that was a pretty unfortunate set of circumstances that just happened there with that sword spell.
Poor Zero.
I think he just had one more hit too with the Moldorm going fast. Carnath is heading up to Hookshot Cave. Zero's already checked these locations, but he was actually checking the Super Bunny Cave there before heading back to what looks like Spike Cave. Not heading into Turtle Rock there, which is a good call, but he doesn't know that, so
yeah.
It's like Spike Cave is gonna be the thing.
Yeah, this is one of the last few locations, and Zero takes another pitfall.
Yeah, the worst of pitfalls. That sends you down 2 floors. That's really unfortunate for Zero.
Yeah, Trolldorm being Trolldorm right now.
Yeah, certainly so. Let's see what we got in Spike Cave. Ooh, we've got a sword upgrade, so that'll be very useful. Like we said earlier, going from Master to Tempered is probably one of the best upgrades. Because going from Tempered to Butter is generally it's good, but having that extra Tempered Sword damage is probably the most important.
Yeah, you definitely get a huge benefit from Master Sword to Tempered.
Wow, and Zero taking another double fall. This is probably one of the most frustrating bosses to play against, and especially this boss is supposed to be fought with a minimum of 4 hearts or 5 hearts, and it can be pretty troll.
Yeah. Yeah, Moldorm never fun.
Looks like Carnath is heading up to somewhere. That's certainly true. There we go. Now he's heading up towards the pyramid area. Looks like we might get that pyramid check and catfish check. There's got to be something here.
Yeah,
got to be something that could lead him into somewhere.
It'd be good. Yeah, just go ahead and combo both of these checks in right together. Especially if you don't find anything on pyramid, just go ahead and head up to catfish. You're like right there. So.
find something that could lead you elsewhere, if you find something on the pyramid, but getting Catfish out of the way when you've already done Zora is a pretty good idea if you don't know where to go next. Oh, we've got the flute on the pyramid. That's a great find. That is a great find. Not only does that get him into the mire area, but that is the one of the best travel items in the game, just because you can go to one of 8 locations whenever you want. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that is probably going to be the next item that they needed to find, possibly for progression. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Catfish didn't have anything on him.
Yeah, it looks like Zero is still having a lot of trouble with Trollworm here, which is not surprising. This boss is very, very difficult. It's really the unpredictability that gets players a lot of the time, even with all the tricks and things that you can do to kind of level out the fight. We'll see what's on Catfish here. The double progression item here would be pretty amazing, but the flute looks like the next path forward. And yet another bottle. This one's got a B-Torp in it.
Hey, there we go. Nice job, Zero. Finally finishes off.
Yeah, does his little dance, picks up Quake, and that'll be his second crystal, because that still puts him ahead of Carnath's crystal counts, because he went and finished off Eastern. So
yeah.
And this is actually besides Spike Cave, this will be the last item that he needs to check in this area, because he's already been in all of them. It looks like he's electing to go to Spike Cave. Wow, he thought about it. Thought about it real hard, but thank goodness he's going to do that. Picking up his second sword is going to be a great boon to him.
Yeah, especially because he has not turned in the bottle yet to Sick Kid, which hopefully he'll remember to do. That way he'll be on par with Carnath having the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, I imagine once he finds the flute, when he makes his way over to the to Kakariko, that will be his opportunity to turn in the Sick Kid bottle, because it just hasn't really come up in the way that he's pathed everything.
Right.
Because not having the mirror when he was in the Dark World there really kind of like prevented him from doing any of that, including the powder.
Yeah, he hasn't been back in Cac Light World yet without the mirror, so this will give him a good opportunity to do that. Meanwhile, Carnath, is heading into the mire area.
Yeah, this will be great. This there has to be another progression item, if not here, then in mire itself, which they do have access to with the Ether Medallion. Just a single medallion seed here.
Thank goodness mire is a crystal dungeon and not another pendant dungeon that they have to gamble on.
Oh yeah. Well, I think at this point it wouldn't necessarily be a gamble.
Yeah, it's the only thing they would have left to do. So.
Yeah, no progression items in the shed there. So they'll be able to complete it because they do have the red cane as well as the lamp and all weapon. Yep, and Zeroatu picking up his Tempered Sword, so they are now even on swords. Looks like Zero is going to go check the powder as well. Pick up his couch cash from the bat. And we'll see what goodies Mire holds. Mire has a lot of chests, but only 2 items, so might be a lot of going around to find everything, including the big key. Oh, this is some great use of the sword beams here in this room, because these whiz robes and the other enemies in that room can kind of troll you by moving around a lot. You'll see players use that, or the sword beams, or the fire rod, generally, just because that room can be kind of a pain. Oh, and Gen C really hoping for trolling the players a little bit more. Wouldn't it be fun if Boots were on pedestal and Big Key was on the Desert Palace Tort? That
That would
That
be
is a thing that can occur.
they can happen, and it would be probably the worst scenario that could happen for these guys.
Oh yeah. I was about to say something else, but I would rather not commentary curse with the thing that I was just thinking. Because why not, right, Jensen? Yeah, not finding boots so far is kinda making for
Or
a slow seed here.
yeah, or even worse, just like Cash just said, or if it's even on the GT land.
Oh yeah, that's always the worst.
The double dip GT.
Yep, book is in the tower, then they could just get all the way to the tower thinking they're in go mode, and then stare a little bit at that torch on the left side there. I've seen that happen to another racer, and he just kind of stood there dumbfounded for a few seconds, having not checked the pedestal, went all the way through the tower, and yeah, that was not fun for him.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh yeah, with the not finding the fire rod yet, it looks like they have to do slow strats for the second torch room over here, but luckily they do have a fire source. Not having a fire source for doing the left side of this dungeon can be problematic.
Yeah, definitely don't want to, and that's an easy thing to forget too, is that you do need a fire source to full clear this dungeon.
Yeah, Jen, to answer your question in chat there, Gen C, the double dip, I believe, was one of the weeklies that they had where the flute was in the left side of Ganon's tower, but both Mire and Turtle Rock were not required. So they didn't have the red cane, which was in Mire area after getting the flute from the left side of Ganon's tower to go to the right side of Ganon's tower to get the big key.
Ugh.
That was quite a fun weekly. I'm glad I was not around for that one.
Yeah, I skipped that one too. So yeah, Zero picked up the red mail. So now both of them are sitting with tempered and red mail, pretty much all the same safeties. It all comes down to who's gonna find the remaining items first.
Yeah, it looks like Carnath has a little bit of a head start because he already found the flute on the pyramid, whereas Zeroatu looks like he's going to be cleaning up the rest of the Dark World here, probably heading up to the pyramid area after that because he's not going to have too many other options.
Yeah, that flute is the progression item, so that's a tricky spot, but again, it's one of the last few spots to check, so it'll eventually lead them there.
Oh, we've got the ice rod from Carnath. So, that might mean an early Turtle Rock.
You always kind of wince a little bit when you find the ice rod in a pendant T-Rock seed.
Yep, that's and especially this early, there could be something on the pedestal. If they're the next way forward is in Turtle Rock, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Turtle Rock is also the green pendant though, so we could maybe they do have to kill Trinex, but hopefully they'll just have to talk to Sahasrahla rather than do a couple of other pendant dungeons. Yeah, because a lot of players are like, oh, Ice Rod means you have to go into Turtle Rock. It's like, well, no, Fire Rod means you have to go into Turtle Rock. Ice Rod means you have to kill Trinex.
Exactly.
Yeah, but without the Fire Rod, they're not going to make much progress there, as we already saw from a dip into Turtle Rock earlier. And it looks like the last item in here is going to be on Vitreous. Carnath with the silvers there is probably going to make quick work. It's because it is quite an easy fight with each eye only requiring one silver arrow and Vitreous himself only requiring 2. They're electing to take the purple chest back to its home and receiving a boomerang for his trouble. And hopefully we'll get that check on the pyramid. Looks like he's gonna head into the Dark World there, and I think the only way to go there that he hasn't already checked is north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the right call. He needs to do this. This will put him on the right track, and it's one of the last few. I wonder if he'll also make the catfish call as well.
A nice beginning of the Vitreous fight for Carnath. Put those last 2 arrows into Vitreous. That was a fantastic fight for Carnath.
Yeah, perfect
Oh,
fight.
in the boots! Oh, wow! Oh my goodness! Ice Rod in the boots in Mire. That is quite a find for Carnath. So not only will he be going fast, but that unlocks a few more locations, including the Bonk Rocks and the Royal Tomb over there in the Light World.
Wowzers.
Oh, this seed is kind of turning out to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, Zero getting the flute, which will lead him to Mire, which will lead him to the boots, which I would think the boots are, yeah, definitely gonna give us the next item. Possibly Mirror, possibly Fire Rod here. We'll see.
And rip Akash's dream of boots on pedestal, big key on torch, and getting this tower in the mirror immediately. Here we go. Now we're starting to open everything up. It opens up quite a few more locations, and we'll see what's in Royal Tomb over here. Oh, actually, he's gonna flute, it looks like, go into the Dark World and check the, Oh, he's going straight into Desert. The boots and the mirror, that unlocks Desert as well. So before he's checking any other locations, Desert Palace is gonna be required to complete the game, so why not just get it out of the way now? Oh, and the Mirror Cave up here as well.
Yep, he's gonna get that. Zero's gonna go get his swag duck. And then, yeah, make the move to Mire.
Not much going on at the checkerboard cave, so he's probably just gonna head straight back into Desert. Don't remember what was on the ledge, but I don't remember. If I don't remember it, it probably means it was not very
Wasn't
good.
important. Yeah, I don't think so.
That check from Carnath right now. Just a piece of heart.
Vanilla piece of heart. Get out of here.
All right, and Carnath making the first trip into Desert. Mire was in the same area and had 2 items. Desert's got 2 items. Hopefully they're good ones.
Yeah, definitely boots required seed right there.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for the mirror, it's for that big key right there.
Yep. Oh yeah. Even if they found the book, if they didn't have the boots at that point, they wouldn't be able to progress anywhere in this dungeon. They would be able to find at least a couple items. Oh, actually, nope. The small key was in that chest there, so totally boots locked. So let's see what item they get here. In the lobby chest, just the compass, not quite vanilla, but close. Then Zeroatu making his way into Mire, which will be great for him, finding both the Ice Rod and the boots. In probably what would also be... Oh, and the Fire Rod from Carnath! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fire Rod and $20 at a Desert, so... Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Ether, Hammer, Titan's Mitts. You guys know what that means. With the red cane, might be time to go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I'm thinking Turtle Rock as well. It's pointing that way, like, right away. It's finding that. It's unfortunate, but, I mean, it's gonna send him that way regardless.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's where the seed's taking, and that's where you gotta go, because I don't know that they've unlocked any dungeons. It looks like Gensi's calling Flippers on Pedestal, maybe, which is definitely a possibility, because that would unlock the last 2 dungeons of Ice and Swamp.
Yeah, I mean, because they could get an Ice Palace by fake Flippers, but it's breaking the logic and very unlikely that that's gonna be the right next move to make. They're definitely not gonna find flippers there, so.
Yeah, it would be possible to complete the seed without flippers if swamp were not required, but you're going to need those flippers anyway, so you may as well try to find them before getting into ice.
Exactly.
It's not going to progress you in any meaningful way unless there's some other item there. Looks like we got the silver arrow strats from Carnath on land molas. Taking him down in a quick fashion.
Yeah, Zero's gonna be very happy with Meyer here soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if they'll be too happy that they might have to go into Turtle Rock finding that ice rod, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Progression is progression, and they need it badly right now.
I don't know, is finding the boots worth finding the ice rod for Pendant Turtle Rock?
I don't know. I mean,
I'd say so.
I'd say so too.
Pendant Turtle Rock to have boots, I would do it.
Maybe not at like the hour 15 mark, but
yeah,
you know, a little bit early would be nice.
Yeah, if they were like, hey, so the first two items you find are boots and ice rod, but you have to go into Pendant Turtle Rock, I'd be like, done.
I'm done. Yeah,
Done.
I'm in.
I'm
Let's
in.
go.
Down. Carnath finally picking up his piece of heart from Agana, or Mikan's Cave, as people have been calling it lately. Heading off to Kakariko, it looks like. Here's that oh no moment from Zeroatu, just finding his ice rod. Oh, it looks like he's going in to finish off Skull. Both of the items in Skull Woods were locked behind the fire rod. So this is actually a great play from Carnath, because this will be really quick, and this dungeon is required. So you're going to have to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's a crystal dungeon. You have to do it anyways. Go ahead and knock it out, so.
Yeah, I think that might be a slightly better option than just tackling the entirety of T-Rex.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and maybe you'll find the book as well, and you can do a pet check.
Yeah, book would be a great find here to see if you actually do need to go into all of the pendant dungeons. Going into T-Rock might be something you need to do for another item or for the green pendant, something like that, but you might not necessarily need to do the pedestal just based on that information. You got Zeroatu cleaning up the last few chests in Mire before heading to Vitreous to get his boots, which I'm sure he'll be very happy about. Carnath gonna check the last two locations in Skull Woods, both players finishing up these dungeons very quickly. Yeah, this is I like this check from Carnath, checking that last chest, because you know both of these are going to be items. That way you don't have to venture back into the dungeon after killing the boss. Usually you'll see players gamble on this last chest versus Mothula if they've already found an item, but he already knew something was there, so may as well go and get it.
Yep, and it was just bombs, so definitely gotta hope for Mothula to drop something good here.
Yeah, because after this,
it's Turtle Rock.
It's Turtle Rock or bust. Waiting for that wall master to make sure he doesn't get grabbed on the way down there. It's a good strategy. Oh, making quick work of Mothula with the Fire Rod and Half Magic here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy fight. There we go. Perfect. That was a great fight from Carnath.
It's the book!
Oh, wow!
No!
Talk about timing. It's like they're telling them something. Carnath is probably very afraid right now of what he's about to find out. Well, everybody, get your hype ready. Get your pedestal hype ready, cause maybe. Oh yeah, he's checking. He's certainly checking. Let's see what we've got.
Oh no!
Okay. All right, he got out. We're good. We're good.
That was about to be very bad.
Let's see what we've got. Oh.
Oh, rip the head.
Wow. Rip the pedestal. Unless you really want those 10 extra arrows.
Man, that was setting up for like a for sure like pedestal item right there. It's like, oh, here's the book. Go check the pedestal.
Go see what's on there. That'll be great.
Go get disappointed.
Yeah. Looks like Carnath electing to go into early Ice Palace. This is a really interesting play. I think he just really doesn't want to do Turtle Rock. But early Ice Palace is not a bad call when it's required. You do have the Fire Rod to be able to actually complete it. You just need the flippers to be able to get into Swamp, which you know can't be here because they're required by the logic to get into Ice Palace.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's just thinking, let me get in here, get some, some crystal dungeons done, and then, I can proceed. I mean, he could almost just rush to the end on this because he knows Flippers isn't going to be in here.
Yeah. In that way, if you just find the Flippers in I'm assuming they would be in Turtle Rock at this point. If you just find the Flippers in there, then you could just do Swamp and Go mode and be done.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking if he can bomb jump, he might bomb jump, or not. He has Samari, he doesn't have to, and then just head straight to Cold Stare. I mean, he doesn't, unless he wants Butter Sword or maybe something else. He doesn't actually have to check any chest in here. He can straight for the exit.
That's true. The only item he needs in order to be in Go mode is the Flippers. Zeroatu's going to pick up his mirror, which is great. Carnath also has not checked the northern side of the Dark World there, nor the southern Mirror Cave as well, which are live locations at this point for the Flippers.
Anything to avoid Turtle Rock, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably do it too, but if the Flippers are in Turtle Rock, they're just going to be in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I would be checking every possible overworld location before Turtle Rock. At this point.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting decision to go into Ice here. I think the Sequence Break is not necessarily... When you only need one item, the Sequence Break isn't really what's concerning. It's if you are checking other locations for an item that you're going to need for this dungeon anyways, then you might not... You might find that, and then you could just do this dungeon in Go mode, which I think would be a little bit better. But Carnath probably making the play to just complete this dungeon just so we can finish Swamp and get it out of the way and go up to Ganon's Tower. Oh, we've got the tablets that are available now too with the book.
Yeah, that's right. Tablets are open. Absolutely. And Carnath picking up his 4th bottle. All 4 bottles.
Yeah, wow. You don't see that too often anymore in these seats. Oh, looks like Zero is having a little bit of trouble trying to get into the swamp without those flippers.
I thought maybe he forgot the dam, and it's like, no, he was going to go into the swamp there.
Yeah, it's just a quick jump into Swamp. Just wanted to get a little wet and then be on his way.
Like, oh yeah, there's this new fake flipper tech into Swamp you guys don't know about.
So Zeroatu electing to go into Pod, which is definitely not a bad call considering there's 5 items there, but we already know there's not going to be much. He really needs to head to Desert to get his Fire Rod.
And he is actually, yeah, all right, there. He's changing his mind. He probably sees that he can do desert now instead of pod, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work out great for him. So glad that he's choosing to go into the crystal dungeon that has a progression item as opposed to the pendant dungeon that has actual nothing. And also checking that last cave over there. It looks like Carnath has found the second item, just couch cash in Ice Palace here.
Just one more to go here, and it's a heart.
There it is. So no items there. He is in theoretical go mode. I believe he did not do the bomb jump, so he'll be using the red cane to get into Cold Stair. Nope, so close on that mirror spot from Zeroatu.
Yeah, good visual cues. If you line yourself up with the door below, like in Desert Palace there, and up against the wall, you can get it.
Oh, perfect. It looks like he's forgot that he needs the big key in order to actually go and kill the boss. So he'll be heading into the front end of Desert.
Just a little bit. It's easy to do that.
Yeah, I've seen players grab the small key from there just in case it is boots locked to try to open as many items as possible. So I thought that might be what he's doing, but with the boots, there's really no need to do that.
All right. Yeah, in fact, I've done the same thing he did. I got ahead of myself, walked right into the end of Desert. Like, oh, yeah, I kind of need that big key.
Carnath heading into Cold Stair. No, he doesn't have an item, but he's definitely got a good setup for this with half magic and the tempered sword, as well as red mail to protect him. Because Cold Stair can be kind of mean sometimes. All kind of off to a rocky start here, but looks like he's got a green potion. Tells him out there. Oh yeah, and then he'll make quick work of Cold Stair with the fire rock.
Yeah, good call.
Oh yeah, I mean my rule now is if I have potions and I need to spend them, I'm just gonna spend them. That's why they're there. And that was a great fight from Carnath. Using that green potion really sped that up.
Yeah, not only was it just safety-wise, but yeah, it just speeds that fight up much faster.
Yep, so now Carnath kind of short on options. I think Turtle Rock is really the only one left. Zeroatu is heading into the final part of Desert as well. Picked up his Fire Rod, which I'm sure he's very happy about.
Looks like he could be heading to...
Oh, he's just finishing
Eastern.
up Eastern.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't finish Eastern yet.
Doing that prep for the final ascent to Ganon's Tower after he finds those flippers. Alright, my thought is, since they have the Ice Rod, that flippers are going to be on the green pendant. What about you? What do you think the flippers are going to be?
I think they're gonna be in Laser Room, Turtle Rock.
Laser Bridge, Turtle Rock.
They have...
Well, I'm hoping for the player's sake that it's in the Laser Bridge, because having to go through killing Trinek, that's quite an ordeal for Pendant Dungeon.
Yeah, the Ice Rod most definitely could spell that they need to go do Trinex. But I got a feeling about the Laser Bridge with the logic requiring, Cape and Burna and etc., that it increases the importance of that bridge just with the items that you have.
That's true. They did get those very early as well. They had the Cape, the Cane, and Half Magic very, very early in this.
Yeah, super early. Also, the possibility of Mimic Cave as well. So.
That's true, yeah, with the mirror. I have seen quite a few things end up in Mimic Cave. And it's just like, what are you doing? Well, we got a call out in chat for the T-Rock big chest holding the flipper.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that it's definitely in Turtle Rock at this point. So.
Yeah, I would be very surprised. It could be on one of the tablets.
Yeah.
It could be there.
Oh, man, that would be hype.
Mirror Cave. Yeah, that would be really interesting. Getting through the entirety of Turtle Rock and then going over and checking Ether. Oh man. Yeah, a couple of one of my last races and another seed that I did after that, I predicted that there would be a sword on the laser bridge in Turtle Rock, and both times just before heading into the tower, the book was on laser bridge and there was a sword on the Ether.
Oh wow.
Because why not?
Why not? Yeah.
So having the flippers be on Ether tablet after players are encouraged to go into Turtle Rock, I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah. Definitely a possibility.
All right, Carnath finishing up Eastern while Zeroatu is heading into the Mothula fight here. It's like both players are on kind of this cleanup stage where they need to finish all these dungeons that they know there might not necessarily be items that they need in, but they still need to do them at some point, so why not get them out of the way now? Carnath looks like he's cleaning up those last few locations. Really does not want to go into Turtle Rock.
Do not blame him.
Absolutely.
Although I am surprised they have not checked. Either of them has not checked the tablet yet. Well, yeah, Zero hasn't got the book yet, but he's about to. But Carnath has not checked the tablet yet. But yet he's taking care of other overworld items first.
Yeah, no, this makes sense because you can start here, then you can head up north to the Mirror Cave up there, as well as King's Tomb if he hasn't checked that yet, and then you can head back down to the south. Looks like he's electing to do the southern route first, probably checking the South Mirror Cave, then doing the purple chest, and then probably heading right over to the tablet there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good routing there.
Yeah, definitely. Missing that those top couple locations might come back to bite him, but there's more items doing this route than there is just going up north and checking those two locations. So this makes a lot of sense. Looks like Mothula's kind of trolling Zeroatu by being in the corner there for a little bit. You hit him into the spikes, doesn't take any damage, so... Oh, there we go.
Carnath put that chest in a dicey location right on there. Oh, dude.
Oh, no!
Oh,
Oh, and there it goes. And it's gone.
he knew it too. He knew right away. He put it in a spot.
Yep. So it looks like Carnath is going to head back to pick up the chest. You can store the chest anywhere in the light world or the dark world and come back for it. But if you save and quit, or if you warp between one or the other, then chest goes away, goes back home.
Yep, and Zero definitely doing a pet check because he knows what's up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was an excited sword swing there, not needing to do the pedestal.
Yeah, it's definitely some happiness there.
Doing the bird dodge, then heading back into the dark world. There we go. I've done that before where I'm just like, flute. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. Looks like he's heading back through Skull Woods. Probably, nope.
No?
I guess he's decided against it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he needs to get back to Thieves somewhere, but no, yeah, he's gonna go back to Light World.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to travel through the Light World area and then go back into the Dark World through that normal portal there, but it looks like he's just gonna flute away. Let's see where he heads. Carnath is checking the purple chest now, taking it back home. And it looks like we might have the same play from Zeroatu. Yeah, looks like he's gonna fake flipper and head into ice.
Very interesting.
Yeah, this is some interesting routing from these players. I don't think I've seen both players do an early ice. Usually that'll be some kind of gamble play, but
Yeah.
I'm just couch catching the Bombos tablet, so we're still on the hunt for the flippers here. Flippers will put both players into go mode. Carnath, I think he's just gritting his teeth and heading up to Turtle Rock now.
He's throwing in the towel. He's like, that's it. I'm done. It's got to be up there. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there are 6 items here, so it's pretty likely. And the only other locations he has left, there's 1 or 2 in a couple of different places. So not really much value. Whereas Turtle Rock having 5 locations in the dungeon and the 6 with the green pendant is a pretty good place to go.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he also checks the tablet here. If he can check that tablet and have the flippers, that'd be much better.
Oh yeah, I'm actually surprised that he didn't go up the other way with the mirror over by Hera just to check that first. But it looks like he's just going straight into Turtle Rock. He's like, man, I just think it's in a dungeon.
Yeah, I think he's committed. He's committed to Turtle Rock here.
Zeroatu tried to do the 1 bomb skeleton room strat here. A little bit of a hiccup, but now heading down to the bomb jump spot. We'll see if he elects to do the bomb jump or the red cane full clear as Carnath did. Oh, if he's in that switch, he's got to be on the bomb jump plan.
And yep, he's set up for bomb jump. Looks like he's not gonna full clear this dungeon, which he does not need to.
Yeah, in a similar situation, he did not have flippers heading into this dungeon. Flippers are the only item he needs in order to complete the last dungeon, so... Looks like he is resetting a little bit, trying to reset his position. This bomb jump is actually quite precise. There's only a few configurations that are easily set up, and he gets it. Gets it on the second or third try, which is definitely nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Looks like we got another guess for laser bridge for where the flippers are.
Yep. Popular guess.
Kind of had to be small keys there. Believe Zeroatu was the one who ventured into T-Rock, finding the big key on the map side there.
Yes. Yep, straight to the exit. Here he goes.
Yeah, luckily this room is a lot less dangerous with the red mail. If you have anything less than that, though, these chain chomps can really ruin your day.
Yeah, they still got to him a few times there.
Yeah, even with red mail, they do 2 hearts of damage. It is pretty insane the amount of damage they can do when you don't have red mail. Zero making quick work of Cold Stare with the fire rod here. Oh, looks like he's taking some damage.
Man.
Down just half a heart, but half a heart is not 0 hearts, so taking out the cape. Maybe he'll remember if he still has that green potion. Yep, there it is.
Good call.
There we go. Caping up again.
Alright,
Yeah, the Tempered Sword does tons of damage to these guys, so... Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Definitely should be good there. Nice.
It's a good fight from Zeroatu, also using the green potion to speed things up there. Carnath just looking for these flippers. Still hasn't found much. Somebody mentioned in the chat that the bunny form for Dark Link is just Link, which I think is hilarious. The sprite work in this game is phenomenal. Everybody who did work on those things, there's what, almost 30 different sprites available just on the Randomizer website?
There's like 30 to 40 sprites available, and they're all fantastic.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. Shoutouts to everybody who does work on the sprites for these. Looks like Zeroatu is electing to check out somewhere the Bombos tablet. Yep, looks like he's heading up to the Dark World to go check that Bombos tablet. He already turned in the purple chest. Get our mirror cave check from Carnath. We'll see if this is where the flippers are. Nope, just some arrows. Or an arrow upgrade, rather. You're kind of having the same mentality, I think, of not wanting to head into Turtle Rock to find the flippers there.
Oh no, Zero had his shield stolen. Rip.
Oh no. That's okay though. It doesn't matter that much because if you get another progressive shield upgrade, it still gives you that shield as opposed to upgrading the shield that you have, which is none.
Yeah. Oh man, here we go. Laser Bridge coming up.
All right, we got 2 guesses for Laser Bridge, and then we've got just Trinex after that.
Yeah, it would be very interesting if Trinex has it. Cause where was the Ice Rod? Ice Rod was in
It was in Meyer.
Meyer, yeah.
Meyer, which they had access pretty early because they had all the items and all they needed to find was the flute, which is in one of the last locations that both of them checked. So Turtle Rock opened up after getting the boots in the mirror, which is not too far after that.
Right.
All right, there's chest number 1, just the compass. Chest number 2, shield upgrade.
Oh,
we got that piece. All right, here it comes.
This is gonna be the key. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So they definitely have to fight Trinex. We'll see what that yields. Oh no!
Wait. Oh no!
Oh wow! Carnath really did not want to fight Trinex.
Wow!
That was really surprising. That's a big gamble, yeah. Oh geez, he's gambling that the last few overworld locations are going to have the flippers, which is entirely possible, but I don't know. I don't know that I agree with his decision, just because you're right there.
Yeah,
you're all the stuff to
right
fight Trinex.
There at Trinex. I mean, you've got to go ahead and do it, because if not, you've wasted so much time. You have to go back and do it anyways. Oh no. And if it's not Trinex, I mean, it could be Saha as well, because it is the... I mean, it's it's a dicey call.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's heading back into Pod. I don't know if he found all the items in Pod. I guess he'd rather fight the Helmasaur than Trinex, but yeah, he did go into Pod before, to answer your question in chat there. But I don't know if he found all of the items, but he certainly did not fight Helmasaur. And to answer the other question in chat, was that all 6 items? No, I believe they found both the map and the compass, which means that Trinex himself does hold an item.
Yeah, and then like, oh nice, and then there's Buttersword in King's Tomb.
Yeah, that's a great pickup for Zeroatu. Not required to finish the game, but definitely will make quick work of any enemy. Oh no, looks like Carnath was not the one that dipped into Pod. That was Zeroatu. So he's checking these last few locations. He's going to be disappointed by what he finds, which is basically nothing.
Oh man.
Nothing in North Mirror Cave. Looks like Zeroatu knows where he's going. Where is Zeroatu going? Oh, Zeroatu's just remembered that they forgot to check the front end of escape. Oh wow, so Zeroatu gonna be finding their silvers, which is fantastic for catching up to where Carnath is, but
Yeah,
doesn't put them any closer to the flipper.
it does not. It's gonna give Carnath a little bit time to check pod here and give time for Zero to get silvers, but yeah, both of them still just they're not gonna find flippers here.
Yeah, wow, it looks like we just got these players avoiding
Yeah,
Trinex like the plague.
and Carnath did not check the ether tablet.
Oh yeah, wow, that's another location. But he'll have to head back up to Death Mountain after Pod, anyways, because we know that the last sword upgrade is in Royal Tomb, and there wasn't anything at North Mirror Cave, so that's pretty much it at this point.
Oh man, this is gonna be very interesting.
So yeah, what do you guys in chat think the flippers are? The only locations that we don't know as of right now are Ether Tablet, Trinex, the boss himself, or Sahasrara. I already said I think Sahasrara has it.
I'm thinking
You gotta
Green
guess.
Pendant, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this seed's been very long-winded. I think it's gonna end with a Green Pendant flippers.
Yeah, it looks like Zeroatu heading up to Death Mountain. Oh, it looks like he's
Oh
flipping away.
no!
Zeroatu heading possibly back into Pod as well.
What?
Oh jeez. These players, I don't know.
Carnath is playing the dance game here. Is it possible that he may have thought he had all items in T-Rock? I mean, it looked like he was keeping track.
It's possible, but
Even then, it's the green
even then-
pendant.
it's
Yeah,
the green
like
pendant. Yeah, he could have forgotten that it's a green pendant because they did do a map check a long time ago. So hearing the pendant music, you could just think that it's a pendant.
yeah.
Maybe-
He's
so
gonna
maybe
do
that. He's definitely going to do Ether Tablet.
Yeah, he's gonna go do ether now. But yeah, you that he did not forget anything in T-Rock at all. Oh, rip.
Yeah, Carnath doing that hookshot speed glitch. And hopefully, if we don't find the flippers here, then we'll head straight back into Turtle Rock and finish that up. Because that's all he's got left at this point.
Yeah.
Well, that's he doesn't know. He doesn't have the butter sword, so he hasn't checked Royal Tomb, and I don't think he's checked the North Mirror Cave either. But just bombs on Ether Tablet, so
Trinex
looks
or
like,
Saha.
yep, and it looks like he's heading over there, so that'll be good for him. Even not having butter sword, I think this is a much better play because Zeroatu is heading into Pod. Looks like he's going to be full clearing this as well, and that was a nice little clip. I don't know if anybody else saw that. That was pretty sweet, though.
No, I missed it.
He got damaged by the Helmasaur and clipped through the side of the top two pots.
Through the pot. Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's just gonna find some more couch cash and small keys in this pot. Yeah, again, I'm really surprised that Carnath mirrored out or saved and quit out of the end of Turtle Rock there. Like,
That was a very, very surprising call there. Like, he must have felt in his gut that it was either in pod or somewhere else that he hasn't checked yet.
oh yeah, and definitely, I've definitely forgotten some things, and I've seen some other players like have that kind of moment of realization, like, oh, I forgot these, mirror items, or oh, I forgot these other items, and that can really eat at the back of your eat away at your thought process as you're going through other things, knowing that those locations are kind of looming over you. So that could have been what he was thinking. Oh, looks like Zeroatu mirrored a little bit early there. Intended to get that big chest, but decided to hit Y just a tad too. Zeroatu is heading back to the big chest there after checking this basement. Jeez, this is shaping up to be quite the race. Wasn't expecting both players to be limited to the last two options, but it looks like Carnath only has a couple more locations, and Zeroatu is shaping up to be the same.
Yeah. Yeah, because now, it just comes down to this final item being down to the final place, down to the final location.
Yeah, because we have confirmation now that Carnath has both of the dungeon items for Turtle Rock, which means that Trinex does have an item.
Yeah, so if not Trinex, turn in that green pendant, and we're gonna have flippers there. It's gotta be there.
Yep. And if not, then I guess we'll just have to talk to Christos.
Almost got there before the ice head could get the attack off, but should be fine anyways. Takes care of it pretty quickly. Nice first part.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the 5 sword strikes from Tempered Sword is really great for this fight, just because it only takes 2 shots for both heads, and you can just kill the ice head with the fire rod actually too with half magic. So that was a great fight from Carnath.
Yeah, really good fight. Here we go.
The flippers! There it is! All right, and Carnath probably very happy that he does not have to turn in that green pendant, but finally hitting go mode after 1 hour and 52 minutes of searching for those flippers.
He's got to be really kicking himself for leaving Turtle Rock early now, and more than likely definitely thinking he's behind, when in fact he is going to be ahead of Zero right now.
Yeah, definitely. So he's probably going to be rushing to get through Swamp. Luckily, you'll be able to do Swamp in Go mode, which has a significant time save.
Oh, yeah.
Just because all of the keys in that dungeon are under pots. And as long as you have all the items to get in, you could just go straight to Cotton Ball Jellyfish. Or Argus, as you know.
I like that instead.
Zeroatu finding his bombs on the ether tablet. Hopefully he'll head straight over to Turtle Rock, and it looks like he will. So looks like we have a race here, because Carnath is not going to be checking for the Butter Sword, which means that Zeroatu will have a slight advantage, at the very least on Ganon, but Butter Sword one-shotting most enemies is also very, very useful.
Yeah, definitely. That and the only other thing is he'll go through all of Turtle Rock looking for flippers when they'll be on Trinex, to where Carnath can just head straight to the end of Swamp.
That's true. Yeah, he will be one full dungeon behind as opposed to Carnath being able to do this in Go mode, but at the same time, most of the time you're full clearing Turtle Rock, and you have all the tools to be able to do it quickly with the immunity item and half magic for laser breath. So it shouldn't be too bad. I believe he already picked up the big key from the map chest. That was Zero. early.
Yeah, I believe so.
So at least he's got that. Carnath electing to open some chests, probably looking for the last sword upgrade, I imagine.
That I would have to imagine that's why he's checking chests right now. He's got tempered and silvers, unless he really wants that extra buffer there.
Yeah, I mean, butter is definitely a good thing to have. It guarantees 1 cycle phases for the first 2 phases, pretty much. So it could be a significant time save. Maybe he thinks that he could find it in Swamp. If he thinks he's ahead, find it in Swamp before his opponent, and have a little easier time on Ganon.
Yeah, I see him checking that one, but I don't see him going left side.
Oh, absolutely not. I think going right or going just north and then checking all the chests that are on the way. I see that a lot for people that are looking just for that last sword upgrade, or sometimes if you have blue mail, you look for that last mail upgrade.
Absolutely. Yeah, because he's even going down to check this one as well. So yeah, he must just be looking for that other sword, which is in King's Tomb.
Indeed it is. So having a little bit of oh, actually looks like he's gonna be doing the full clear.
Oh,
that's really interesting.
Man, that is gonna give Zero even more time to catch up here if he's planning on full clearing Swamp here. I did not see this coming at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of advantage he could gain. Like, Bombos could be a little bit of a safety if he feels like he needs that for the Gauntlet, or the Butter Sword is always good to have. So I'm sure that he's got a plan, and he's going to try to execute it as best he can. You could also not realize that he's in go mode. I don't know what item he thinks he could be looking for.
Now that would hurt, but yeah, I'm not sure either. Wait a minute. Hey, there we go.
There we go. All right. kind of that. Wait, hold on. Is this the last dungeon? I think it's the last.
You saw
dungeon.
him there. Yeah, you saw him there. He stopped, double took, and said, "Wait a minute. Something's not right here."
I think I saw some gears start to turn there.
All right. Well, at least he realized it there and didn't make the full trek over.
Yeah, he did. Spending that small key to get another small key was a small time loss, but better than going to check those other chests when he doesn't need to. Yep, looks like he's just skipping those last few chests. Yeah, he definitely knows he's in go mode now. Going straight to Argus. Probably going to make quick work of him with the Tempered Sword there. While Zeroatu is cleaning up in Mimic Cave here. Going to find his air upgrade there. Hopefully we'll get to... Looks like they'll be reaching the tower at a reasonably close time. Zeroatu having the Butter Sword, gonna make quicker work of Argus.
Yeah, I think Carnath might get there maybe about 30 seconds to a minute faster than Zero, depending on the fight and the path that Carnath takes there. But yeah, it's gonna be very close.
Well, Zeroatu will still have to clear Swamp, so it'll be at least a couple minutes.
That's true. I'm not even thinking about that.
So, but I'm sure as soon as he finds the flippers there, he's just gonna go straight into Swamp and hopefully clear it in go mode, and maybe we'll see a right side left side gamble. But actually, speaking of right side left side gamble, Carnath has just found his 7th crystal, and it is tradition in the randomizer community for everybody to spam numbers in chat. Just start spamming random numbers. I mean, no, that's not the thing. You can guess which chest you think the big key is going to be in. We got the first guess in with 11, and looks like we've got Tile Room as another guess. Or the first numbered guess, rather. People want it to be in Tile. Oh, chest number 1. Oh, we got some numbers. We got 5, we got 68, we got 2. Some great numbers. 14 from Profit Game. 1 from Indispensable. I'm gonna get my guess in there. 27 from Brew Crew. Big key in the validation chest.
Side note, Carnath has maxed out blue potions. So he's looking good going into GT.
Oh yeah, that's always a good fallback to have.
Yeah, always a good call, especially with the flute.
I'm going with chest number 4 because pretty much no matter where you pick up chest number 4, it's in a room with a lot of chests. Unless you do some strange bonk torch plus right side route. Looks like Zero is opened up the safety hatch here, and now he's using his cape to pick up that last chest.
Great time to find a piece of heart to fill up his.
Oh yeah, wow, that was
Holy
great
cow.
timing.
And finds the shield. Alright, so now he also knows that last item is on Trinex, so he's gonna go straight there. Or, oh wait, yeah, he still has a chest there. I thought he got that first.
Looks like... Can do it, but... There you go. Oh, well, it's a compass.
Yeah.
All that work for a compass. Alright, Carnath actually heading into the tower at this point. Looks like Zero's gonna be a few minutes behind, so he'll still have Swamp to clear. Maybe Carnath will have some trouble getting into whatever parts of the tower he needs to get into. So he's doing the right 2 chests first, which is a common play.
Oh yeah.
Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely still a race, 100%. Like, anything can happen. And not even a small key, first 2 chests GT, so definitely left side here.
Yeah, it's a lot more common now to do the right side gamble. I see a lot more people doing that. Before, especially in the earlier versions, you basically never saw it. People would just always go in left side just because there's so many more chests that you can clear. With the advent of more junk kind of being worked into the tower, the checking chests as fast as possible has been the bigger option. So if you check those 4 chests on the right side as quickly as possible, and then you just check all the 4 chest rooms as fast as you can, I think that's the general strategy. Oh, and there's
nice.
the big key. And that was chest number, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chest number 6. Does not look like we had a guess for chest number 6. But that's a fairly early location, and now Carnath is in true go mode, going up the tower. It looks like Zeroatu is about to go into non-tower go mode, finding the flippers on Trinex here. Swiping his sword and being like, you better get my flippers! And he does, he obliges.
Yeah, very happy to find those, and also relieved.
Oh yeah, not having to do the turn in nor check the rest of those locations is gonna be great. Carnath's still heading up the tower here. Zeroatu hopefully will do Swamp really quickly because Go Mode Swamp is best Swamp. Carnath doing the iframe strat. You intentionally fall off there and get iframes, you can just dash across the entire bridge.
Yeah, very good, consistent strat for that room.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't really see the fire rod get employed a lot in the gauntlet, but it's a great weapon because it's very quick and it one-shots most of the enemies.
With half magic, I love using. If I have silvers or fire rod, those are the main 2 weapons I'll use through the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely use the bow quite a bit. The fire rod, especially because the Landmolus 2 fight is also pretty easy with the fire rod, so you'll see that a lot as well. Either that or the silver arrows if they have the silver arrow. I'm gonna stop for a little bit of a refresher here. Ooh, so close. Yeah. There we go. Can you still get that 1 cycle? Oh, close. Or the 2 cycle. Still a good fight. 3 cycle Landmolus is nothing to sneeze at, especially with the troll fireball there. I have seen many runners get trolled by that. You wouldn't think that a single fireball generator could cause so much trouble until you try to fight Landmolus with one of them.
Yeah, that fireball can be quite a nuisance, just trying to dodge it and fight Landmolus at the same time. Mostly when you're just trying to go fast. Casually, it's like, yeah, whatever, I'll dodge it, but it's always in an instance like when you're trying to go as fast as possible, I think it's more of an annoyance.
And it looks like Zeroatu is heading back out to that chest over there. Just kind of wants to see what's in.
Interesting. So yeah, they're both kind of just wanting to be curious to see what's in here. I mean, Zero has butter, silvers, half magic, everything you possibly need. We should be good to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's just letting Carnath get a little bit further ahead, so unless something catastrophic happens, Carnath is pretty prepared with the blue potions, but anything can happen during the especially, you still got Trolldorm, Aghanim 2, and Ganon, so...
Alright, oh.
Taking a hit there, but not going down, that's good. Oh, yes, and the 2-shot Trolldorm 2 is a very good fight. And validating the run with that heart, 18 hearts. Very wow. It cleared a lot of items in this run here. Specifically avoiding Trinix, so not really surprised with so many hearts there. Zeroatu also has 16, so he'll be filling out his heart collection, doing the last bit of swamp here. Oh, it looks like he's just heading straight up though, so good on him. Oh, got a double there for the first phase of Aghanim 2.
There might have been another. Looked like it was just one though.
Yeah, I think that one was a single. Another double.
Ooh.
Just one more hit from Carnath. That was a great fight. 2-1, 2-1.
Not bad.
Yeah, 4-cycle Aghanim 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with that.
Zeroatu still heading down to check these chests here. Also pick up a couple hearts. You never know. Cotton ball jellyfish can be kind of trolly sometimes.
Alright, and it is Ganon time for Carnath.
Yeah, the Tempered Sword version of this fight will take 12 hits during the first 2 phases, always 4 hits in the second or in the third phase, and then 4 silver arrows during the third phase or during the 4th phase to defeat him. Whereas Zeroatu has the Butter Sword, he'll only need 6 hits during the first 2 phases, and a similar situation with as they both have the silver arrows. he's had a pretty good fight so far, electing to use the Cane of Burning. He's got quite a few blue potions. Looks like he's going to be using one of them right now. Coming into this fight super prepared for whatever Ganon has to throw at him. Looks like Zeroatu's just finishing up the Argus fight. A couple sword spins from the Butter Sword there. And he'll be headed up to the tower as well. Oh wow, that was very close. He was trying to get the torch glitch there.
Yeah.
But having dodged that bat kind of made him miss it. Which is fine if you have the silver arrows. It can be a little more difficult if you don't.
Man, he was really close to falling. He could have got hit by the bat and it would have tossed him off, but he dodged it.
Yeah, the RNG for how far those bats throw you is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's got that third hit. Only one more hit for Carnath. He got that 2-frame sword swipe.
Yeah, as he's going up, and
there it is. And that is GG. And looks like we've got Carnath finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 10 minutes, 59 seconds. GG's coming out from everybody.
Oh, nice. That's sub 211.
That's sub 211. Just barely. All right, we're gonna see if we can get in Zeroatu or Carnath for post-game interview. And just as a reminder, be sure to follow these runners. They did a great job today. Zeroatu's still battling it out, going up to the tower. And Carnath, congratulations to him for being the winner. Go ahead and throw those guys a follow, as well as everybody on the stream. We're working really hard to make sure that you guys are entertained, and maybe you can throw a little love our way as well. Carnath, welcome to the after party, as it were.
Thanks for that. My God, what a seed!
Okay,
yeah,
GG,
that was
man.
GG. That was a really tough seed. Looks like you were avoiding Trinex like the plague there. What was your thought as you headed into Turtle Rock for the first time?
Well, I figured, it's got to be there. I mean, there was a couple of single chests I hadn't checked out, but I figured I'd go in through Turtle Rock, and I unfortunately miscounted the chest. The only reason I went back for Trinex is because of the green pendant.
Oh, I see. That makes a lot more sense, because we saw that you had both of the dungeon items there, and we were really confused when you mirrored out, when you save and quit out. But that makes a lot more sense because you had those few overworld locations to check still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we thought that could have been a possibility, and then we eventually saw you made the play back there. I'm like, oh well, then he either forgot or he just did not want to deal with the Trinex right now.
Well, and I was thinking, okay, well, I can do Trinex and get the 3 pendants, but I already pedestal, so if I check the pedestal, that's kind of pointless. But then I realized that's the courage one, so maybe the old man's got it.
Yeah, I mean, you and Zero both narrowed it down to the last 3 possible locations where the flippers could be. It was either the Ether Tablet, Trinex, or the Green Pendant, and sure enough, it was sitting on Trinex the whole time.
Oh man, I think there might have been a couple locations I hadn't checked, but I was like, I gotta be so far behind at this point, I gotta go for it.
Yeah, we're glad that you did. The one location that you missed that could have made a little bit of a time difference was the 4th sword upgrade was in Royal Tomb. Because we saw you kind of checking out Swamp there. I'm assuming you were looking for a sword upgrade.
I considered, yeah, well, basically flippers in general, and then my biggest problem with Swamp is I completely forgot. I don't need a friggin' big key to actually get to the boss.
Right, yeah, that's one of the dungeons that the big key can actually be on Argus himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, and that's where you might have noticed I kind of paused for a moment, like, wait a minute.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we
We
saw
both
that.
said there's the literal moment where you stopped, and he's like, okay, he had to double take there and said, wait a minute, I'm good to go. I don't need to check any more chests here.
Yeah, did Zero happen to find the extra sword upgrade?
Yeah, he did.
Y-
He found that a little while ago.
yeah, he found it. He's sitting with Buttersword going through. He just found the big key in Gannis.
Oh, okay, so yeah, oh man, I figured I must have been way behind, but it's kind of a relief to actually win one.
Yeah, congrats. This was quite the battle. Zero, I think, fell behind a little bit in the early game, and you just kind of maintained that same lead. You're always about an item ahead of him in the chain, because that beginning of the seed was very, very chain heavy, where it was like one leading to the next, leading to the next, leading to the next.
Yeah, I think there was like a small part. Yeah, that were Zero one dungeon ahead, I think, but Carnath was still in item wise had advanced further. He found something ahead of Zero.
Yeah, the point where you guys were searching for the flute, Zero elected to go and do Eastern just to get that out of the way. But then when you ended up going to the Pyramid Carnath, that was when Zero was still trying to find um, the myths, I believe.
I think it was that, or I think he was still looking for the flute. Actually, it was
Hmm.
either that or yeah, no, you're right. It was yeah.
Yeah, I kicked myself because I'm like, why the heck haven't I checked the pyramid? I mean, yeah, I haven't gotten the crystal for the big fairy, but
Right, yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of items and a lot of really interesting locations here. And especially once you got the boots off of Vitreous, that's when everything kind of opened up, because that's when you found the mirror, and that opened up quite a few different locations. But up until that point, it was basically like, the one thing led to the Power Glove. The Power Glove led to something else. That something else led to the Titan's Mitts, and so on and so forth. We could only check very few locations. What were your thoughts like right when you got the mirror? Right when everything kind of opened up?
oh god, I was so happy to see that mirror. I'm like, I can check so much now. I mean, I could access Swamp as soon as I found the flippers, which took forever, of course. But it was such a relief. I mean, I was struggling so far. Like, I checked Thieves Town, which it turned up empty except for the half magic. I checked Eastern Palace, which was kind of a bust. And I was getting frustrated to no end.
Yeah. The beginning of that seed seemed like it was very frustrating. Did you at any point consider? I know you gambled on the fake flipper plan pretty early. What were your thoughts on doing that kind of stuff, the sequence breaking at the beginning of the game?
Honestly, the fake flippers is pretty much a guarantee for me. I always go for the Ice Palace fake flipper up to under the bridge. I've been screwed so many times by not checking that in the past, so it's just kind of habit now.
Oh, so that's just kind of your beginning thing. And then you also made an interesting decision to go into ice before finding the flippers. Tell us about that.
Well, a little part of me was starting to think that maybe the flippers were in there because, fake flippers become such a standard glitch now. But I figured, worst case scenario, maybe I'll go in there and I'll find something really awesome, like, I don't know, the butter sword or whatever.
Oh, well, in the logic, I believe they don't. All of these seeds are operating on the standard logic, which is glitchless, and that would mean that the flippers cannot be in Ice Palace because it doesn't require you to do that glitch to get in there.
Yeah, and as soon as I entered the Ice Palace, I kind of realized that too. But I figured I'm here, I might as well complete it.
Well, yeah, there you go. So that's pretty great. Looks like we've got Zeroatu heading up the tower. He's just in the second 4 torch room there. Only one death throughout this seed. I think you executed very well. It was just, kind of, seed was kind of bringing you all over the place.
Yeah, it didn't really seem to have a straightforward path to it at all.
Yeah, once it got to that point where it opened up, that's where everything kind of like, well, we can just do everything, and then you did. Um, quite literally. You think you ended with 18 hearts, and Carnath's looking to end it with 16, which means that like I always use that as a gauge to see like how many
Ooh.
places you guys have checked.
Yeah, Zero took a fall to Moldorn 2 there. He's just been having all sorts of Moldorn issues tonight.
Oh yeah, you gained a lot of time. He spent a lot of time in Tower of Hera fighting Moldorm. So that I think is where you gained the majority of the lead, and then you just kind of you both kept at that same pace.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah,
until the end.
He unfortunately, yeah, he fell like a handful of times on Mold. That ate away some time. A couple of the middle pit holes where you fall down 2 levels, so it was definitely not good.
That's brutal. I was racing Emo Sorrow yesterday, and yeah, Trolldorm version 2, he smoked me 3 times. And
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
that's the worst.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so Zero starting Aghanim 2 here. See how well gets the 2 right off the bat.
Yeah. What were you thinking when you went into the tower? I know that you typed something to the effect of "How did I win that?" in the IRC there. So did you think you were really far behind? Did you think you were kind of behind? Do you think what were your thoughts there?
honestly, yeah, I mean, with the time I wasted going in through Thieves Town and Palace of Darkness, I figured I must have been like a good 20 minutes, half hour behind. And then I just never saw done from Zero, and I'm like, what? How am I still not losing?
Yeah, and then I mean, as long as nobody's done, you just kind of keep on keeping on, right?
Well, and that's like when I got into the tower, is like, okay, just get one key, big key, go for it. And I got lucky with a bunch of whole keys, and I was able to skip pretty much every chest after that.
Oh yeah, that was pretty great as you were heading up the tower. That was a really clean tower as well. That was a nice use of the fire rod on the way up there. And then yeah, you just jetted through as soon as you got those. You had those small keys ready to go.
I know a lot of people prefer the fire rods, especially against the sandworms, but I like the silver arrows myself if I have them.
Yeah, you did a great job clearing out Land Mollusk there with the silvers. I prefer the fire rod just because the instant damage of it. You do have to hit twice with it though, which is kind of works against it.
I way back when I first started speedrunning, I made the mistake of rather using fire rods or anything like that, especially during going up the gauntlet. I ended up using bombos just because I got real sick of them running around on me.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've definitely seen the Bombos clears. We didn't find Bombos in this seed at all. I imagine it's somewhere deeper in the tower. Deeper in on left side or right side there.
My best guess would probably be Swamp.
Oh, Swamp.
Yeah, it could be
Certainly
left
could
side
be.
swamp. We didn't get a check of that left side. That's literally the only area in the game get a chance to look at besides Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, you guys both you checked the first couple chests, and so did Zeroatu. He ended up checking the chests up north as well on the north path, whereas you just kind of go moded the rest of that. So.
Ooh. GG.
All right, and Zeroatu finishing with official SRL time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, 37 seconds. GG to both of these players. Make sure to throw a follow at both these players, Zeroatu and Carnathfd. They did a great job today, and this tournament is going really, really well. So definitely check out the runners and the commentators as well. Commentators and especially the behind the scenes people. Like there's a lot of work that goes into these restreams, and I'm really happy to be a part of them, and I'm really happy that the community is doing this at all.
Yeah, I think it's great. I especially get to watch some of the replays and see a lot of different strategies.
All right, looks like we're gonna bring Zeroatu in here. Hello, Zeroatu.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. You saw you curse the flippers there.
Yep, it was a fun one. Before the match, good old Ursula said, "Good luck, have flippers," and we did not have flippers.
No.
Oh no.
So I'll give them some of the blame there. But yeah, it was a good seed. I'm overall pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we were just saying that you guys both executed pretty well. It was really just that the kind of linear nature of the first part leading into the second half, essentially, once you guys got the boots, everything kind of just opened up all at once.
Yep.
What were your thoughts when you kind of got to the end of that chain where you started opening up the rest of the world there?
Man, I don't even know. Part of me was just gonna get Ice Palace out of the way. I knew that we had everything I needed for that. I was just gonna fake flippers in there and get that one done, so I wouldn't have to again. I don't know.
That was a really interesting decision from both of you because you both ended up fake flipping into ice.
Okay, cool.
I think Carnath ended up doing it first, but both of you did it at a point where the only item you had left to find was the flipper.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense to just go in there and take care of that.
Yeah, and actually in this seed, it actually played out good for both of you because then you would have had to go all the way to the rock and then
all the way back.
And then yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a fun one. That was my worst Moldorm 1 fight.
Oh, dude, we were feeling for you so bad.
I feel like 10-year-old me would be grimacing if they saw that. But oh man, I was a little bit tilted after that fight. I was so focused on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to go back to playing this game, and I honestly forgot a couple of locations I had already searched at that point. So some weird routing after that, but
I don't blame you at all, man. Especially those middle pitfalls, dude. Where you fall 2 levels, dude. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Yes, fun. That's a word.
That's not what I would have chosen, but we'll go with that.
But you guys both did a great job. Really happy to have you in here for the interview.
Yeah, that was a great race. It was pretty much like neck and neck the whole way in my eyes. So yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, it felt pretty good overall. So.
Well, I think that's gonna be about it for the restream here. Be sure, if you're in the channel right now, be sure to check out all of the other Randomizer Mania channels. This is Randomizer Mania. There's Randomizer Mania 2, 3, and 4, as well as Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2, 3, and 4. All of the secondary tournaments are either going to be streamed there or on the main Games Done Quick channel. So definitely check all that out. There's a schedule available on the information under the stream here and for the other pages, the Randomizer Mania and Speed Gaming pages as well. And once again, shout outs to the runners for running, and definitely give them a follow on Twitch, as well as all of those channels that I just mentioned, and everybody involved here, because this is great stuff. This is where the fun is.
Yeah, most definitely. And yeah, thank you to Faye for restreaming. Thank you, Gency, for tracking. And yeah, thank you guys to the runners. Thank you, Chauncey, for commentating as well.
Thank you, S. Diesel.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you guys going. And it was definitely worth it.
Absolutely. So thank you very much. That's going to be it for us. All of you have a good night.
Cool. Good night, guys.